Hey, what's going on everyone? This is iReviews back with another video, and today we're talking about the second beta of iOS 26. Now, we just had iOS 26 beta 1 released like 10 days ago. It has some really mixed reviews. I personally like it. I think it will turn up to be a great update, of course, once we go through these betas and Apple adds things, and of course they fix things that are currently not that great on iOS 26, but overall the changes are really good, and as you use this update on daily basis you will begin to like it. It probably won't be able to go back to the old style of iOS, but let's go back and talk about the second beta, what to expect from this update, and when can you install it on your device, and whether you should install it or not. Now, here are a few things that I believe Apple will change and update with the second beta of iOS 26. Of course, this update will have a ton of new features. There will be probably a lot more features added to iOS 26 with the second beta, but there should be also a few fixes and a few changes on the UI. First of all, the control center. One of the main complaints from everyone that has actually installed iOS 26, I believe this is something we can all agree on. The control center doesn't look that good at all. It's just not good looking, and of course the amount of blur in the background makes it very hard to actually see the elements of the control center. And you can even see things like right here, the album art, it doesn't like it goes well with this shape here. It's like more like a square, and here we have that circle around it. It doesn't look that good at all, but of course it's just beta 1, and you can expect most likely a big change to the control center with the release of the next beta, which hopefully will be the case, because this doesn't look good at all. Now you can see the glass effect and the transparency effect that you see here with the icons on the home screen. You can see how good that looks, but once you go to the control center, it just looks like something that like a project that has just started and it's not even halfway there. So that should be one of the parts where Apple will actually focus a lot and update a lot of things here on the control center. Now the exact same goes for the notification center as well. Even though we have this great glass effect, just look at that, how cool that is. But the notifications, if you don't actually have the proper wallpaper set on your device, it will just look terrible, and it's actually very hard to read sometimes. But again, this will be part, of course, of the new update as well. Things have to change here and will change with the next updates, as of course this is just beta 1. Now, one thing really interesting is the keyboard. Now, the keyboard has also been updated with iOS 26, but as you can see right here, it looks kind of good here on iOS 26 if I'm on like a default app like Safari in this case. But if I go to a third-party app, this won't show at all, and we have still the old keyboard. This actually has to be fixed, and you will notice here the keyboard, it's kind of different. It has these like rounded corners here. Probably they have to adjust those corners because it doesn't look that good right there. But again, beta 1, still a lot of things to come. Now, of course, there are other problems that hopefully Apple will address with the second beta, despite adding new features like heating. The iPhone heats up quite a lot, especially when using the transparent icons, and I've noticed that also, like switching between one lock screen to another or changing wallpapers, it does heat up the device a lot. And that of course will also cause the battery to drain quite faster, even though with this being beta 1, it's actually quite good on the battery. Of course, you will have a way worse battery life if you update from iOS 18.5 to iOS 26 beta 1, but it's a beta, so you can expect and you have to accept that because you're just trying out a whole new software update. And then there are also some freezes on the screen. I've noticed a lot of those right here on the app library. When I go to the app library, sometimes it will just freeze on the screen. I can still go back, but I'm not able to open any app or go to the search right there. And also some random like resprings of the device, like usually when using guided access, when I disable it, it will just restart the device. But of course, things that happen and will always happen with these big betas. So when can we expect the next update to release for iOS 26? Well, it's been like 10 days now since Apple has released the first beta of iOS 26. And if you have installed like a big beta before during the summer, iOS 18 or 17, you probably know that the first 3 to 4 betas will go on a 2-week schedule. So the 9th was the day that Apple released the first beta of iOS 26, and you can expect the 23rd to be the day that Apple will actually release the second beta of iOS 26, hopefully with all these improvements and fixes for a lot of the problems that we are actually getting currently on iOS 26. Now, this update should probably be a lot smaller. You notice that the first update of iOS 26 was like 14 to 17 gigabytes somewhere, but it should be a lot smaller, probably like 3 to 4 gigs. That's what I'm expecting to see for this update. Now, there will be another update for the public beta, but that should be sometime in July here. So by the time we will probably move to a weekly schedule with the releases of iOS 26 dev beta, and the public beta should be available somewhere right here on the 14th or the 21st of July. So the final question, should you update to iOS 26 beta 2? Well, it is that simple. If you have the first beta of iOS 26 on your device, of course you should. You just go ahead and update to the second beta. There's nothing that can go wrong. You will have a bunch of other new features, a lot of fixes and improvements, probably get a bit better battery life on your device as well. If you're not on iOS 26, if you're on iOS 18 or whatever other software you might have on your device, then I suggest you just wait for the second beta to be released and see how that goes. What's the feedback on that update? And maybe even if you just have like one device and that's your daily device, just go ahead and wait for the public beta. By that time, this software will be way better, and that's probably the time when it's safe to actually install iOS 26 on your device. Now, overall, again, this is a good update. I'm starting to like it a lot more, especially the new design, and I'm expecting a lot of changes during this summer. Don't expect this to be the thing that we will see released in September. It should be a lot better, and there will be most likely a ton more updates to iOS 26 before it gets released to the public. Of course, a lot more features, but also a lot of changes on design, and everything you see now probably will be quite different. So that's basically it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it helpful. If you did, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and leave a like on the video, and I will see you guys on the next one.